Happy. All right. We are now live. Today we are talking about why women over 40 play small and how to stop so that you can end 2025 just we want to end 2025 strong. And so as you're coming in, let me know where you're coming from. We are streaming on a few different platforms. So you're going to see me maybe moving about, obviously. And thank you already for the questions. So I do want you to know that any of them that I receive, I will stop. Hold on, I have to, oh my gosh, we've got all this setup is hysterical. As you're coming in, just like I said, let me know where you're coming from. Of course, my phone's like dying as we just went. Bridgetta, so nice to see you, girl. All right. I'm getting back on here. So today we are talking about really why playing small is costing you everything, especially ladies, my audience, women over 40. This is the time where we want to finish strong. So today I'm going to give you the tips on really the power in showing up. And here's the thing, what I specialize in is supporting women in shifting their identity to become who they've always meant to be. My business is actually called Wholeness. It's coming back to the truth of who you were before you ever thought you were less than. I am so passionate about helping women to shift their identity that when you're already successful in life, you've dotted your I's, you've crossed all the T's, you've lived most of your life for other people, for your parents, for society, for different cultural norms. And now you're literally sitting there going, I'm ready to powerfully pivot my purpose and to do so in a way with confidence and clarity to go for my dreams, to have what I want and to truly have it all with ease. And that is the crux of this. We don't need more strategy. We actually need to shift who we be. And so today I want to give you exact steps on how to do that, because it's all about identity. Everything is identity. Everything that you are experiencing in your outer reality is a direct reflection of who you think you are and what you believe you're deserving and worthy of, right? And so, Rosa, what is going on? Shelby, hello. Mara, Mara, it's so good to see you. I'm seeing people from the past. Everyone, it's so good to have you here. Let me know where you are coming from. Hello on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. We're doing all the things. So here's what I want to say to you. If you've been dimming your light, waiting for the right time, shrinking yourself, waiting for permission, waiting to lose the weight, waiting to be saved, waiting for a sign, I really want you to understand that you are the sign, you. And so that's what becomes really powerful when we recognize, when we're in that state of such deep connection and inner knowing, intuitive connection, that we have no doubts. We don't need to outsource our power anymore. So I really want you to get into that space with yourself where you know that you hold the key. And here's what I will say to all my women over 40, especially my entrepreneurs, those I've been in the coaching industry for 20 years, which is insane when I think about it. I started when it was such a weird thing to do that no one was doing it. And my family thought I was crazy because I made very good money and I was in the fashion industry and I had every girl's dream job in New York City. I was sent around the world. I was sent to Japan to trend shop. I would go to Australia several times a year. What's up, Zara? And I hope if I'm not saying anybody's name right, please let me know. Sheila Queen, girl, it is so good to have you here. Please let me know where you're coming in from and any questions that you have. But I say this because I've been in this industry a long time. And once you are in midlife, you've done a lot of life. We've done a lot of lifing. And so now it's about midlife, I say, is the main stage. And this is the time for you to grab that microphone and make yourself known. And so we get to take all the wisdom, right? So the first half of our life, we were living, trying to figure it out, thinking life was happening to us. And now we're so wise and we're like, no, it's happening for me. But instead of manifesting, which I had tried to do for so long in so many ways, and I would do it and I would manifest the coolest things. But it was inconsistent. And I saw that the times when I shifted powerfully, I didn't need another strategy. the times where I had so much money come in and my life changed dramatically, and these quantum shifts, was when I shifted my identity. And it wasn't just sitting back and doing these rituals and mantras. And it was actually me believing and choosing day in and day out to be in that aligned frequency. So I just want to say, if you've been dimming your light, if you've been waiting for the right time, if you've been shrinking yourself essentially to make others comfortable, or doubting the truth you feel in your body, this message today is for you, because playing small is costing you everything. And most of all, it's costing you your peace, your purpose, your confidence, and your power, and your relationships in so many ways, your abundance, because you're not fully being you. And your identity, your future, this is what I want you to own as you step into 2026. You deserve to stop settling and step into the woman you're meant to be. So I really want you to take that in. And if you are new to me, I'm Melissa Kathryn. I'm a reinvention expert for women 40 plus who are done settling and are ready to confidently and boldly claim their next level. And if that sounds good to you, I'm going to do a shameless plug. Check out Limitless Academy. Or if you're really ready to ramp up, join our reinvention program and step into 2026 being like, I am ready to dramatically shift my outer reality and everything by who I be. This is talking about a mind, body, wealth, health up level in all the ways. So today, what we're going to do, just so I can tell you, because I really, really value your time and this is so important. I'm just looking in all the places to make sure that I'm connecting with everybody here. What we're going to do today is I'm going to take you through exact steps on how to get visible and how to actually feel safe being seen. I also want to bring you into your next levels of clarity. And often what I find in particular I work with high achieving, very successful women in all aspects, whether they're actors, CEOs, you name it. It's really about through identity and really getting clear though, and getting out of thinking and questioning into confidently declaring. There's a complete difference when we get into that. And it's really important that we talk about that today, because I want you to walk away being really, really clear and having these steps on how to get there. Thank you so much for all the hearts and the love. Oh, Carlina, it is so good to see you. Barbara, guys, any questions that you have, definitely let me know. Biggest simper, I like it. Okay, and I'm already seeing those questions. So I'm going to teach and then intermittently answer the questions that I'm seeing here. Okay, let me go back. I just ended that. Okay. That did. All right. Well, that's what we're going to do here. Okay. I'm just going to get going and not get distracted by the questions. All right. So you know who I am. Let's get into today. Like I said, shameless plug. If you want to join Limitless Academy, I'm going to make sure all the links are here. Reinvention, we are opening new spots starting off in the new year, and it's epic. I will tell you about that. But if anything, subscribe, let me know. And if you have any questions for me, put them in the chat and I am here. So here's what I want you to know more than anything. And please, in the chat or in the comments, let me know, where do you know in your life right now that you're currently playing small? Where do you know without a shadow of a doubt that you are not fully showing up? Whether it's posting that post online, starting that YouTube channel or TikTok or Instagram, whether it's actually starting it, whether it's starting the book, whether it's joining the gym, where are you not fully showing up? Where are you playing small right now? Let me know in the comments. and put it in the chat. Where do you know that you're playing small? And here's the thing. So there's something that I teach in my community that's called Soul Speak. So as an intuitive, I talk a lot about, and we tie in aspects of spirituality. I talk a lot about your soul is speaking to you at all times. Your higher self is guiding you. And if I said to you right now, where do you know you're playing small? Your soul is speaking to you right now. And I guarantee that when I said that, there is a very distinct and very clear thing that you know that you could start doing differently. And if you did that one thing consistently, I guarantee it would change everything for you. So where are you playing small in terms of career, visibility, relationships, money, expressing yourself? Really, really look at that and share, because right there, you know what's actually stopping you and blocking you. So here's why playing small, and why I made it the title of today's video. Because when you are playing small, where that really comes from for females, especially in midlife, is it's good girl conditioning. We were taught to be good girls. We were taught to be one way, follow the rules, show up this way, don't have too much to say, look pretty, stay quiet, don't be too much. Does anybody relate to this? This good girl conditioning. So this fear of being too much, childhood identity roles, right? So often in childhood, we got put in a box. We learned that certain things got us love. So we decided to do more of them. We learned that, if you knew that bringing home good grades or having your room clean or looking a certain way or being a certain size got you praise from your mother or your father, then that's what you grew up continuing to want to do. Because when we early in life, that's what we're actually seeking. If you watch a child, they love and they will look for you. They'll do something, like whether they pick something up, and they're like, I just did it with my niece. We were like, yay, Ella. Like every 2 seconds, we were like, yay. And then she'd sit there and, drop a pen, and then she'd pick it up and we'd be like, yay, right? Over and over again. And then she'd just look for it and wait for us to say, yay. That's all we're doing. And that's what we're doing in childhood. And that's honestly what we're doing as adults. So we start to condition ourselves and create identities that would award us through the behavior that we learned would get us the acceptance and the love. And then that learned behavior became an identity. And that's where later in life, I have women come to my community and they'll go, I resent the hell out of the fact that I'm always having to do everything in our family. I'm the one that's the fixer. I'm the one that's the peacemaker. I'm exhausted. I'm the one that does everything. But it's a role that you took on. You took on the nurturer. You took on these different roles because you are actually getting something from it. So the first step to change and the first step to awakening is to understand that you are fully accountable for everything that you're experiencing in your life, that you are the creator of your reality, and that everything you've experienced, both good and bad, is solely because of you, which is a hard pill to swallow, especially if you don't like what you're experiencing. It's like, well, why would I create trauma? Why would I create debt? Why would I, due to your beliefs about you, due to your beliefs about life? So we end up experiencing what we believe we're deserving and worthy of. And we experience in direct accordance with who we believe we are. And what we have in our outer reality is nothing more. And I realize that this could be a bit much, but really understand that when you go into holidays, when you go into interactions with other people, whatever you assume to be true is going to be your experience of them. So when you end up changing your internal state, that's how everything outside of you changes. So when we're talking about getting out of playing small, this is about you believing you're deserving and worthy of things to be easy. There's something that I do inside Limitless Academy where I'm always saying to them, ask yourself every day. I do audio drops in there daily and inspiration drops. And I say every day, I'm like, always ask yourself, how good can I get? How can it get so much better than this? How can things get even better? I want even more than this. God, I want it all, but I don't need any of it. What I need is to be closer to you, right? Spiritual. I'm not here to push religion, but just spiritually, right? I want the world. I want all the money. I want all the things. Of course, my soul came here to expand and to express. It came to expand to the bigness of who I get to be. So when we want to get out of playing small, lady loves, understand that you have to increase your container to receive. You have to increase your desire is what's going to lead you. So often we've learned that our desire is a bad thing. Like, I don't have time to play today. I need to do this regimented to do masculine energy. But playing big isn't about masculine to-do list. It's actually about dropping into your femininity to say, I am the queen of my life and I am now here to receive. And the more that you get comfortable receiving and taking up space, the more gifts, the more money, the more wealth, the more love, the more visibility can come to you. And this is a great thing. Do you see what I'm doing here? I'm bringing my arms in. Did you ever notice when you go into meditation or you'll go into any religious practice or you go to Tony Robbins, right? Like, he'll talk about priming the body in religious, in spiritual centers and whatnot. They're often open your arms to receive, and then you're bringing the blessings in. When you want money, when you as a woman, the biggest thing that I will see after 20 years of doing this and working with thousands and having hundreds privately is that women have a hard time receiving. They do things like, I'm sorry. I was the queen of the I'm sorry girl. Is anybody here like the queen of I'm sorry? I'm sorry. I'm sorry for breathing. I'm sorry that you spilled your coffee on me. I'm sorry for no reason. I'm sorry that I opened the door for you. I mean, it was insane. And I hear women do it all the time. I hear women, somebody will pay for the bill and they're like, oh my God, no, let me get it. In fact, this just happened with a friend of mine at dinner. And I asked the waitress, I said, do you ever hear men arguing for the bill? And she's like, only women will sit there and go, no, why did you get it? No. And I'm like, exactly. Because we have a hard time receiving. How many times have you given a compliment or you get one and you give one right back? Or you get a gift and then you will put what's that? Like an earmark, a dog mark. But what's that phrase? Like, you'll make a mental note of, I need to get them a present. It's like, no, they could just give you something. We have to normalize receiving. Of course you said I'm beautiful. Of course. And this is not from a cocky place. I'm just using that as an example. This is from yes, because I'm deserving and worthy and I'm a woman of my worth. When you're a woman of your worth, you are not taking out your wallet when you're on a date. You're not. I will never forget when one of my brothers said to me, he's like, oh, he said, if I ever take a woman out and she takes her wallet out, he's like, right there, I would never take her out again because she's not in her worth. He's like, I'm asking you on a date. Why are you paying? He's like, I like that. He's like, it's the biggest turnoff. And I sat and I remember I was like, yeah, I personally have never done that. And I think I was asked to once and I was like, what? I'm like, you asked me out. And I was like, oh, I will never go out with this person again. But I say that, and this isn't about money. And it's about knowing your worth, your energy, your essence, your presence, the gift of you, the gift of just you and your energy. That is your essence alone. That's what a queen really represents. Do you ever notice a queen? People are just grateful to be in her presence. She's not trying to dominate by saying all the things, right? She's just sitting there in her beautiful clothes after being wonderfully taken care of and pampered, and then eating the highest quality food. And then she sits and she receives. So when we're looking at playing big, I want you to understand that this is about your comfort level. We need to expand your capacity to receive. And this is when I will often get asked, Melissa, I manifested money, but then I got a big bill because you didn't actually expand your vessel to receive. You didn't believe that it could just come in and stay with you and grow with you and overflow. So you ended up manifesting a bill where you had to pay it out. There is a lack of safety happening in the body. So how do we normalize this so that you can have safety in the body? Well, we can do several things. Now, many will tell you do nervous system work and somatic work and all of that, which is all quite beautiful. But I'm also about let's get some fast results here. So what I want to challenge you to do is stop saying I'm sorry, take a compliment without giving one, sit in the discomfort in your body at not deflecting in a conversation and actually taking up space and talking. See, we have opportunities all day to expand our capacity to receive. We have opportunities all day to play a bigger game, to do that post online, to just go live like I am right now, to speak up, not just just to speak up, but to actually stake a claim in a conversation instead of being a wallflower. We want to start normalizing. So I want you to start asking for help where you typically wouldn't. I want you to delegate where you typically would put it all on yourself. I want you to sit down with a piece of paper and ask yourself, how can I play an even bigger game? Soul guide me. And you will receive a message instantly. And then your job is to prove to the universe, to higher power, to source energy, that I take fast action on the guidance that you give me. I am ready to receive the blessings that you have for me. See, when you get guidance, because you will instantaneously, and then you don't take it, it passes you by. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you, Diana. It's so good to see you guys, Barbara. So do you see, and thank you for all the love. Do you see what I'm saying here? So we learn to play small because we bought into childhood identities. Now, here is why I love identity work. Here is why I teach reinvention. And here's why I have programs like Reinvention, Ascension, the Whole Woman, are Limitless, right? My membership is called Limitless to remind women that we get to live limitless, that you are actually a limitless being. Why is that? Well, Reinvention, you can reinvent yourself right now. There is not one aspect of who you've been that needs to come in with you in 2026 if you don't like it. So please stop doing this. This is the number one thing that I see women doing that is blocking your blessings and stopping you from the growth and having dramatic positive changes in your life and avalanches of abundance coming to you. You are not understanding the power of your words and that your words are casting spells at all time, and they are blocking your blessings because you say things like, I'm always late. I've been a dieter my whole life. Oh, money is like, I've struggled forever. You do understand, knock on wood, none of that is me. Cancel, clear, delete. I'm letting that go. I don't even like things like that to come out of my mouth, even when I'm saying it in the span of just getting the point across. Why? Because I know the power of words. Every word that I say is creating for or against me. Everything you say is creating for or against you. When you say things and you state claims, understand that when you're sitting there and you're gossiping about another person, watch out. Because exactly what you're saying about that other person or thinking about them is going to come back to you 1,000-fold. In spiritual texts, they say that when we are judging, whatever judgments we pass internally or externally, we will then experience ourselves. So if you're judging somebody else for their weight, if you're judging somebody else for the way that they look, if you're judging somebody else for the way they're choosing to live their life, you will end up experiencing the same. It is the same thing. Your words are your wand. They are constantly working for you or against you. Only speak into existence that which you want to experience. Only speak into existence that which you want to experience. I cannot say it enough. If you want this year to be the best year of your life, then say it. If you want this month to be the month that changes it all, if you want from this day forward that you have shifted your identity completely and you are the queen of your reality and everyone loves you and everything works out for you, and it always is and it always does, then stake it and claim it and it will be yours. But understand that when you complain, when you talk about my partner is always doing this, my kids, nobody appreciates this, you are going to get more of the same. And this is what really contracts your energy and who you get to be. And this is what is shaping your reality at all times. So other ways that you've been conditioned to play small is through religion or cultural guilt and self-abandonment as safety, which is one that I work on all the time with my clients. Self-abandonment is a key core wound, and it shows up in so many ways. When you self-abandon by overeating, you self-abandon by overspending, by doom scrolling, by playing the supporting role, there's so many ways. And look at where you shrink to avoid judgment. Many just have a fear of playing big because they were so afraid of being judged. Because when they did put themselves out earlier in life, they were criticized, critiqued, or it didn't go over well, and it didn't feel safe. So they created a subconscious program where they made a contract with themselves that I'm never going to do that again because that was too painful. See, we often think that the mind is working against us, but the mind is nothing more than a construct of past consciousness. The mind is nothing more than a computer program, and you've programmed it from the time that you were born until now. It is literally ChatGPT. You know, when you open up ChatGPT responds to you the way that you've taught it. That's what you've done with your mind. So you are not your mind. You are just a thinker of, and you are not your thoughts. You're a thinker of your thoughts, and your mind is nothing more than old programming. And if you don't want those programs, you get to rewrite them. And I teach you exactly how to do this in Identity Shift. I will put the link here. It's my mini course. It's literally $44. It will change your life. And if you choose to allow it to, but it takes you step by step through how to shift your identity. And that is the most powerful thing that you can do. And we do an activation in there. You have exact workbooks where you have to take the time to get clear. And what I will find so often is women will come to me and I'll say, well, what do you want? And they'll go, I have no idea. And I'll say, well, tell me more about who you are. And they're like, I don't know. I got married at this age, or I've been a career woman for this long. And my business has been my life, or I've been a mom for this long, and I'm empty nesting. And this is why I love working with women in midlife who are in transition, who are successful and want to powerfully pivot their purpose and really step into their dreams. They want the body, they want the money, they want the life, they want extraordinary. They don't want ordinary, and they don't feel bad asking for it anymore. They know that they weren't just meant to be just a mom, that they weren't just meant to be just a career woman, that they weren't just meant to have just the one career, and that there's something on their heart and they don't want it to die within them. They want to go for it. And they're awakened to know that life is too short to not try. And they're awakened to know that they're not going to sit on the back burner anymore. They're not going to live into their worries and their doubts, right? And so I really want you, and I want to empower you to stop shrinking to avoid being judged, because the only one is you with you. It's just you with you at the end of this life. And you're going to sit there and you're not going to care about how much money you made, and nobody's going to care about how much you worked. You're going to sit with your soul and go through and go, did I go for my dreams? Did I play big? And that's what I want to help you do today. Because you don't play small because you're weak. You play small because you were trained to survive by staying small. Really let that land. So what is the hidden cost of playing small? What is it? It's lost opportunities, missed love and relationships, under-earning, health consequences. Really understand that if you've had anything go on with your health, it's just trapped energy by old stories and identities that are in conflict with who you're meant to be. That's what illness, dis-ease is, dis-ease in the body. It's when we are out of alignment, or we keep traumas hidden instead of healing them and ascending from them, transmuting them. That's why I do the work that I do, right? And so emotional suppression is another one that will add into playing small and staying small, and illness in the body. And then that goes into anxiety and resentment. So these are all hidden costs of playing small. Emotional suppression, anxiety, resentment, identity fragmentation. This is the tax you pay every time you shrink. Did you ever feel that, where it's like, it's identity fragmentation is when you knowingly, you feel yourself shrink back, where you don't stand up and say the thing that you want to say, where you don't ask for the raise, where you don't tell the person that you love them, or where you don't go for that job or go on that trip or do the thing. And these are ways that we actually will feel that splintered off, right? So this is a great question. I'm going to go, okay, let me go over here. Shelly's saying, how do I know if I'm playing small? I think we all know, and this is a beautiful question, but I think we all know when we're playing small, because when you're really playing big and you're playing full out, you know it. You're feeling really proud of yourself. You know that you're at full capacity, that you're working in alignment with your true talents, your gifts. You're putting yourself out. You're feeling a great way is you will feel the fear a bit. There will be this anxiety around it, that hitting send on that resume, that hitting prep, like go on that live, posting that really vulnerable post, or that or starting that new business, or putting yourself out with love. It's when you're doing things differently, there's a level of a little bit of fear and trepidation. And when you also know that you're maxing out, like you're like, I am doing all the things, like I'm really proud of the way that I'm showing up. And you know that you're doing that, because we know when we're playing small, when we're still not doing the thing that we know that would get us further, because you know your own capacity. Let me know if that supported you. Generally with playing small, we also know, and these are ways that we do it. We downplay our success. We silence our truth. We avoid being seen. These are ways that we'll play small. We procrastinate on our dreams. Which one of these would be you? You stay comfortable instead of honest. And that's one that I see a lot, where there's just comfort over really being brutally honest with, I know I'm not really going for it. And I'm willing to look under the hood for why that is, because I don't want another year to pass me by making excuses. And so I talk about this inside Limitless Academy, where I say there's either, you're either evolving or it's on a revolving door. You've either evolved past, like if you look at your list of goals from a year ago, if they're the same, then you're playing small, and it's a revolving door. But if you look at your list of goals from a year ago and you're like, done, did it, wow, oh yeah, well, I didn't do that, but I did this, right? Then you've evolved past it. So you need to do a life audit. We do a mind body mapping where we do a life audit in my work. And it's so powerful for the women to really see, when you take your life apart as a pie and you look at how fulfilled am I in relationships? How fulfilled am I with money? How fulfilled am I with spirituality? How fulfilled am I? And you do a life audit. You very clearly then have a picture of where the gaps are. And then you can clearly see, oh, I'm not showing up as powerfully, or, oh, wow, like my wealth, I'm doing really good in health, but I really need to put some focused energy on my wealth. Like I'm not doing as good there. Or I've got relationships and my spirituality, my pie is full, but when it comes to my purpose, I'm really lost, right? And so a life audit is a great thing to do this time of year. If that's something you want, please email support@MelissaKathryn or DM me here. And I can tell you more about that. So here is the other piece that I wanted to say. Identity versus circumstance. This is the root of everything. Identity versus circumstance. Do you guys know what I mean when I say that? So circumstances follow your identity. Your self-concept dictates your action. This is why in my identity shift mini course, so I was saying, if you want to shift your identity, it's literally like $44. in there, I have our self-image, our self-concept workbooks, because what I found so often, and I found this with myself, was that so many women would come to me and they're like, I just don't have time to really get clear. I need to go away on a retreat. I need to take time to get clear on what I want in life. And if you're not clear, then how can you make it happen? So I created, and they're spectacular, these self-concept workbooks that help you really get clear on, in detail, on every aspect of who you are, how you want to look, what your wealth looks like, your dream home, your finances, your purpose, what your ideal day would be, what your relationship, your spirituality. When you take time to get clear on this, it can't not come in for you, right? But you have to get clear. And what I find so often is that women are like, I just want to be happy. I'm healthy. I'm with the love of my life. But I'm like, well, who are they? And it's like, well, like, you know, I just love them so much. And I'm like, well, how do they make you feel? Or what characteristics? Like, tell me more. You know, and there will be this big gap in clarity. And what's your purpose? I just know that I'm doing work that I love that's helping people. We'll get more clear. What would that look like? Is it online? Is it in person? Do you want to run a business? Are you an entrepreneur or an entrepreneur? How much money would you want to make? How many days a week? What hours would you want to work? All of this, if you aren't clear, then how can we create it? Remember, you're the creator of your life. You're the producer, the director, the star. So circumstance, your self-concept dictates all of this. So you can't outperform your identity. When your identity says I'm not ready, your reality will continue to reflect that. So it kills me when women are like, well, when I hit this, you know, when I hit this financial goal, when I make this money, when I have the time, when I get, you know, when I blah, 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 there's always this other, like, and I'm like, you're literally telling the universe that I'm not ready to have what I want. So make it take longer. And that's what will stop you and block you. So how does playing small show up in every area? So in terms of love, playing small will be staying with partners who can't meet your needs and aren't going where you're going, who aren't evolved, or you're settling for companionship versus your ideal partner, right? And this can look like you not expressing your needs, staying in your comfort zone, and making concessions when you know internally it's not right. And another way that we play small in the area of love is avoiding intimacy, avoiding vulnerable conversations, and not really being ourselves, because we're really worried more about being liked and not being left. And if your core wound is self-abandonment, then you will be the ever evolving chameleon. So they actually never know you. So they might say they love you, but have they met you? And your biggest fear is, well, if I'm really me, then you'll leave. So this is about you with you. And so if we don't heal that wound, then you will forever stay playing small. The other way that playing small shows up is in the other category of money. And what this will look like for my entrepreneurs, and for those of you playing small, my service, my manifestors, my healers, my coaches, you will have a hard time charging what you're worth. You will undercharge and overgive, and you will end up either burnt out, resentful, or with an illness. Accepting less just because you want to get the money in, right? That accepting less is, you know, it's like, oh, well, I just need the clients. So you take on clients that aren't ideal. You take on conditions that actually aren't what you want from lack of clarity. So playing small, if we're playing small, we're not clear on what we want and we don't take the time, because we're also like to still buy into the victim story of, well, it's all happening because of this. When in reality, you just haven't taken time to get clear. And if you got clear and asked for what you really wanted, it would be uncomfortable. And you fear that it won't work out. So again, that core wound is low self-worth, right? So undercharging, accepting less, and also being afraid to lead. The way that playing small shows up in a career is not applying yourself, not pitching, not being visible online, not actually putting the offers out or really doing what it takes. So when I say not applying yourself, it means not really studying for whatever you're doing, not going all in on, like, if you've paid for a coaching program, if you're in school, you're not fully participating. And it's just another way for you to, you literally like tell yourself all the excuses, but the truth is you're playing small because you have a fear of failing, because you're not fully grounded in your worth. And so the other ways with your career is not being seen, which means, and you'll often see this in social situations too, where you could be at a party, but like no one's really going to know if you were there or not. You could be the person that like comes and goes and doesn't really leave a mark. Like you're just kind of there. And so there's nothing really, you're not making yourself distinct in any way. And this is a self-preservation protection mechanism, but it also keeps you really bored and buying into a story that you're not significant and that you're really ordinary when you're anything but that. You were actually meant to shine. And so you bought into this identity that you're average, but you are actually the one that's meant for extraordinary. Who's with me here? I know. Yep. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it. And I feel it strong, girl. I feel it. Girls, ladies, I feel it. I need like a hell yeah for that one. So it's time. You're here for a reason. It's time. You wouldn't be watching this if it wasn't. And the other way that playing small shows up in terms of your health and your body is not honoring your needs. You go and order and you have food allergies or intolerances, but you don't want to make other people uncomfortable. You don't want to mainly make yourself uncomfortable. You don't want people to think that you're high maintenance. So you don't actually say, I can't do dairy. I don't do gluten. You will miss workouts. You're not honoring your needs. You self-sabotage and you hide. And you will also keep weight on and stay in the dieter's mentality, because if you have to put your energy on being on a diet, then you can't put your energy on your dreams, because you tell yourself a story that once I lose the weight, I'll start showing up differently. Once I lose the weight, I'll have the confidence. Once I lose the weight, but the weight is just an excuse that keeps you stuck and playing small, and you're getting a lot from it. So you continue to yo-yo with your weight, and you also have an identity that you struggle with your weight, and you repeat it to yourself often. So you continue to. So these are all other ways that you stay small and hide. So this is, okay, we're going to go into this. It's such a good question. Jennifer, the fear, what if I'm scared to be seen? Well, that's why you're here, right? Scared to be seen. You're talking to somebody who is scared to be seen. I have 2 books behind me that I wrote, and I'm live right now streaming on 4 platforms. I was the girl, I judged myself. I was the sorry girl, to the point where one of my brothers said to me, Mel, you say I'm sorry so much that it's literally uncomfortable. I feel like you're apologizing for living. And I was like, oh my God. I was always dieting. I had struggled with disordered eating. And funny enough, when I was little, I wanted to be an actress. Because I wanted to be somebody other than me. And then my fear of being seen kept me from actually putting myself out. So I moved to New York City to act, and then I talked myself out of it. But then funny enough, I went and did fashion design, even though I'm self-taught, and had that career for 10 years where I was very visible. And then I quit that to then start an online business that would force me to have to actually have and be a personal brand. So that's how the soul will get you to do the very thing that it came here to have you transmute, transform, and heal from past lifetimes and come back to. So do you see how many ways I tried to avoid being in the spotlight, and yet here I am? But what my soul actually craved was the stage and being seen. But what did I call in? I called in judgment in childhood and criticism. And that made me want to play small and not be seen because it didn't feel safe. And then I had to overcome it and I continually have to face it and overcome it and put myself out. Do we see how this works? So you will not be able to get around what your soul came here to correct. And when you choose to be an online, when you choose to be a participant of it, you will be given as many opportunities, and then you will have to face each fear and go higher. But as you do, you find more the truth of you, and then the blessings and the miracles and the manifestations and the joy. And then you end up waking up, and I wake up each day as like a miracle and a gift. And I just wake up in awe and in blessings and epic, incredible things I constantly get to experience. And I've lived the most incredible life that I wouldn't have lived if I didn't choose, and if I wasn't who I was. Because if I didn't have judgment and criticism in childhood, and I wouldn't have struggled with my weight. And if I didn't struggle with my weight, I wouldn't have helped the thousands of women that I've helped, that I've served, that have meant more to me in my life than anything. I mean, God, I could cry just thinking about all the women in my community. Like, I'm so blessed. And then, if I wouldn't have overcome cancer, I wouldn't have been able to help so many women overcome cancer and actually learn that you can heal your body by the words that you say and the thoughts that you think. And I'm a master hypnotherapist. And if I wouldn't have gotten cancer, I wouldn't have come back to my intuitive gifts and actually allowed them to be a part of the work that I do, because I closed my back on that and I was afraid of my gifts. So then all of those gifts have then propelled me forward and allowed me to help and again heal and be of service to so many, and awaken to even more blessings that have brought me even closer to God in so many ways. So all of this is how all of this works. And it's all a gift. And then I get to be here with you, which is how amazing is that? So the fear, what if I'm scared to be seen? So what I want to tell you, Jennifer, is the fear of being seen is just the fear of being judged. But here's the thing. No one is judging you more harshly than you've been judging yourself. And the only way for the voice of judgment to go away is by actually stepping into it like you would a bully and saying, I see you, and I'm not letting you run the show anymore. I see you and I choose me. I see you, but I love me more. When you do that, your higher self comes in and you turn it over and you say, I give this judgment onto you. I don't want it anymore. And I'm not taking it with me into 2026. So I instead am choosing what's the opposite. So how do we change a belief in an instant? We adopt the belief that we change a belief in an instant by repeating it endlessly. 2, we write down what the core fear is. So the core identity belief, the limiting belief is judgment, right? Her limiting belief is judgment. Becca, it's so good to see you, honey. So I'm fear of being seen. So the opposite is, right, I'm fear of being judged. So what is the core wounding? Not being enough. So instead, you're going to repeat, Jennifer, 1, I change a belief in an instant, and I'm going to repeat that to myself daily. 2, I'm going to tell myself that I am enough. And then I'm going to get my mind, my reticular activating system, because I specialize in reprogramming the subconscious mind and helping you to shift your identity in real time. What you're going to do this is you are then going to put your energy all day, every day into, in what ways am I enough? I'm enough because I'm here. I'm enough because my worth is inherent. I'm enough because I said so. I'm enough because I have family that loves me. I'm enough. And then you start to feed the mind, the ego, right? That wants to confuse you and say otherwise. I am enough. And once you start getting the mind to look at all the ways that you're enough, and you do that every day in repetition for the next 40 days, you will see dramatic changes in your outer reality. Because the truth is, you're already being judged by life, because it's human nature, and you're judging yourself. So start to judge yourself through the lens of love, and the rest of the world will mirror that back to you. And I just gave you the exact recipe on how to shift your identity instantly and how to shift a limiting belief in real time like that, right? Okay. So what is the identity gap in step 5 here? The identity gap is who you actually are versus who you are currently being. who you actually are as a divine queen, goddess, incredible woman, right? So your old identity is survival, smallness, people pleasing, the peacemaker, the fixer, right? The martyr, the nurturer, the avoidant. Not anymore, girl. Not anymore, right? Who is your new identity? I love being seen. I am loved. I am adored. I am respected. I am cherished. I am chosen. I am expressed. I am powerful. I am grounded. I love being seen. I love being visible. See, you have to train your body. Your cells are listening to everything that you say cellularly. These are 4 steps in my program Reinvention: subconscious reprogramming, identity shifting, cellular healing, and spiritual nutrition. When you bring those together, you can't not reinvent yourself in 4 months in real time. It is epic. It blows my mind, every woman that goes through that program. Why do we have to? I want you to understand it is scientifically proven. We've got epigenetics, right? But scientifically and in terms of neuroscience and on a cellular level, we have Dr. Emoto, who actually did the water study to understand that our cells are listening and are vibrating in frequency and energetic resonance with the words that you say and the thoughts that you speak. And when you speak into water, that which you desire to be, you are actually coding yourself cellularly. And the same thing is happening all day, every day in real time by the thoughts that you think and the words that you say. So you're going to start training your body, mind, body, soul, spirit. I love being seen. I love being visible. I love playing big. I love showing up online. I love speaking my voice. It feels so good. I'm honored. I'm respected. I'm cherished, right? You feed internally for the external. Got it? Yeah. Are you guys with me? All right. Ben, I love you too. Oh my God. Okay. So good. You guys are so good. Bree, what is going on? La Nina, what's up, honey? Wanda, Seneca's here. Are you Seneca Townsend from my high school? Are you? If you are, I need to know. I went to all girls school, but Seneca was in music with me. We had to take music. You do not want to hear me sing, but he was the man. Okay. If it's you, Seneca, I'm like, you have to like, let me know, because Dana and I were talking about you the other day. All right. Where am I? I want to make sure that I'm on. I had so much I want to talk about that I have to like make notes for myself. Okay. So remember, you are not playing small, okay? Because you're small. You're playing small because you've lived from an outdated identity. So we want to stop waiting for permission. This is your permission slip. No one is coming to validate you, choose you, save you, or make you ready. And I say that with so much love. You are here to save you, to validate you, to give yourself permission, and to claim that you are ready. So right now, I want you to put your arms up and you're going to say, I am ready. I am ready to receive. I'm ready to receive miracles. I'm ready to receive abundance. I'm ready to receive love. I am ready to receive the miracles and the blessings that are here. If you want a mantra that brings in like it's like money's raining on you, is I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I don't care what's going on in your world. I am so blessed. Everything is always working out for my highest and possible good. Everything is always working out for me. I am so blessed. And just watch what happens. Watch, because the universe is responding to you. Stop waiting for permission. You are ready. Claim it now. Say it out loud. I want to hear it in the comments, in the chat. I am ready. When you claim this right now, put I am ready in the comments. Just watch what happens. Energetically, this is not just for me in the comments, but please, I'm going to do a shameless plug. If you are on here, please subscribe, please like, please follow. It helps me so much. And it helps other women like you find me and this material. And I'm on here because I love you. And I just want you to have the best of all the things starting now. I don't even want to say in the new year, like right now. So what is the reinvention process? It's awareness. It's decision, it's embodiment, it's environment, and it's integration. It is everything that we just talked about here today. And if you are ready to reinvent yourself and you've been looking for the program to take you from where you are, and you're like, I want to dramatically shift who I'm being, I want to dramatically shift my reality, and I want the support and the accountability, and I am ready, join Reinvention. We are opening the doors. I will put the application, the waitlist, so you can learn more about it. And if you're like, I want to be more in your energy, Melissa, I want to receive videos like this, I want to be live with you weekly, I want to be in your energy, because when you are, watch out what happens. I'm not kidding. It is pretty epic and amazing. When you are in a high frequency surrounded by other women like this, get audio drops from me daily inside Limitless Academy. We are literally doing a miracles challenge right now. I mean, there's so much going on in there, but this is where we do high level subconscious reprogramming and identity shifting inside our membership. And there are 2 tiers, so you can dip a toe. There is no contract. Come check it out. It is amazing. Especially get in on the month of December, because we're doing a whole planning for 2026. We have intuitive readings. We have hot seat coaching. We're up in all the things. If you resonate with this, I also want to tell you what has to happen in terms of playing big is called feminine leadership. And this is, I work with high powered, successful women who are ready for their next level. And I'm telling you right now, feminine leadership it's not coming from that masculine do. Ladies in midlife, you know what I'm talking about. We learned that you had to do to make shit happen. No, that is not how we do. That's not how we do here, boo. No, it's called presence, and it's commanding through who you be. Feminine leadership is presence, embodiment, confidence, trusting yourself implicitly, and owning your truth, because the only truth that exists is the one that you believe. That's it. There's like, no one can say what the truth is. It's what you believe. Really look at that. Some people believe the going to the moon was like fake and all like whatever. Other people absolutely believe in it. Some people believe in God. Some people don't. Some people believe that Trump is the best. Some people think that he's the devil. I mean, whatever truth, the only truth is the one that you believe to be true. I went to all girls private Catholic school. I remember we were like studying the Bible, and then my theology teacher was like, only 50% of this is real. And I was like, why do I have to memorize it? And then there were other girls in my class that were like, that was like blasphemy. Like the household that they came from, the Bible was it was truth. It doesn't matter. You decide truth. What's your truth? Decide it. But understand that what you decide, you have to have conviction around. That's feminine leadership. And then you boldly stand by it. You don't let other people sway you. And I don't know. And like, I don't really have a stance. It's like, be a leader. Have a stance on the things that matter to you. I'm not saying you have to have a stance on all the things. I don't like have a television, and I very rarely with the news, people are like, did you see? And I'm like, they're like, are you devastated? And you're like, are you so angry? And I'm like, I can think of a lot of better things to do with my energy than argue about politics, not meaning to make this a political thing whatsoever. You have to know what your truth is and then stand behind it and not be easily swayed. The other piece to playing small in our 10 things here is taking up space, right? Taking up space. This world doesn't need you playing small. We actually need to know who you are. And that means being fully expressed. So what did we talk about here today? That means speaking, powerfully speaking when you have something that you want to say and owning it, claiming your desires and not pushing them aside or just going, well, I mean, I'm too old now. Or like, if it's a desire on your heart, then it's meant for you. Done. It's already done in another reality. Listen, here's how you know if a desire is meant for you. It's never left you. We all have those fleeting things of, oh, I thought about living in Paris for a bit, but it's okay. If Paris never left you and you still are dreaming of it from when you were 20 until now, it's a desire. It means it's on your soul's path. But if you had a desire to run a bar or a restaurant and it left you, then it was just a blip on the radar. Really understand, when you have a desire that stays with you, it's because it's in your soul imprint. It's meant for you, which means you've already been successful at it. So all you need to do is align and go for it. What are the other things in terms of taking up space? You need to hold those boundaries, boo. Healthy boundaries is one of the most powerful things that I had to learn for myself and that I teach women, because they really lost sight of their boundaries. And when you've been playing small for long, it's uncomfortable for you to own your boundaries and to speak your truth and to be okay with it. And you have to learn to sit in this discomfort, but you also have to learn first what your boundaries are. That's another one that I will find women will be like, when I say to them, they're like, I just want my dreams. And I'm like, well, what are they? And they're like, oh, I don't know. Or I just want to be me. And I'm like, great. Who is she? And it's like, well, I have to think about that. Think about it. Think about it and get really clear. Get clear now. You don't have to wait for the new year to do this. Do it now, today. You're here for a reason. You do, like, if it's like nobody honors my boundaries, well, do you even know what your boundaries are? And are you honoring your boundaries, or are you doing this? There's a prime example of a woman playing small, especially when she first starts. And I'll see this one, and I had this one as well. Whoa. I have no idea. TikTok just made me do something very strange. Sorry, guys. So when you start honoring your boundaries, and it's like somebody will go, can you show up at 5? And you're like, I can't. And then they're like, oh, that's a bummer. Or they say something, and then you go, well, I mean, I could, maybe I can. Oh, if I could. And then you backtrack. That is not owning your boundaries. That's kind of having one and then extracting. Remember, people treat you and respond to you the way that you've trained them to. So if you're somebody that doesn't honor your boundaries, they're not going to honor them. And then when you get pissed off, you can't, because everyone's treating you the way that you've taught them to. And that includes your children, and that includes your spouses, and that includes your family members and your significant others, right? You teach people how to love you by how you love you. You treat people how to trust you, treat you by how you do. So I really want you to take time to think about the identity of the woman that you're wanting to be. I want you to visualize, who is she? How does she walk? How does she dress? How does she speak? How does she lead? How does she decide and declare who she is? And who does she no longer apologize to? Here's what I want to remind you all. She's already you. This isn't I need to become her. We just need to peel away everything that isn't her. It's like as I said when we started here, you were born whole, this beautiful light being that thought you could do and become anything. Until somebody said no, until somebody told you otherwise. And all we've done and learned in our life is how to conform and how to not be our unique selves, right? I went to all girls private Catholic school. We wore a uniform. Talk about like not having your own sense of self-expression. Fashion is self-expression. Basically, everyone looked like a walking ad for each other. There was no individuality. That's all we learn is conform, be like this person. It's actually get further and further away from what's true about you and what's unique and what's epic and beautiful. Start dressing like this person. Don't do that. You're a reflection, you're a reflection of me. I remember I would be upstairs and I made clothes, and upstairs in my room, I would cut these clothes. I kind of did like what Urban Outfitters. I didn't know that people would want to buy this stuff. But I mean, I remember I came down and my mom just wanted, she just didn't want to be judged by other people. And she didn't mean anything. I don't think she knew that like I could have gone on, would go on to do fashion design. But she was like, oh, you can't wear that. Like, what would people say? And so I started thinking my clothes weren't good enough. Now, had I come down the steps, because we're still forming our identity, this is not a knock on my mom. And I love her and bless her because she's no longer with us. And I love her so much. But when we're shaping that aspect of ourselves, we believe what's possible by what we're told when we haven't fully formed that inner connection and have that bold confidence and conviction around who we are, especially when we're impressionable, right? And the subconscious mind stops forming after the age of 8. Now they're saying more around the age of 10. And a girl really she starts to become critical of her own body at the age of 10. That's when she starts to review and look at herself through a skeptical eye. So there's a lot of impression. That's also when she's changing. Generally, you'll get her period around 11 and ups. And so there's hormonal shifts and other things. And I say all of this because had I come down, let's just say, I'm just going to use this example, and I've been praised, I would have thought, could I do this? Could this be a real thing? But since it wasn't, I didn't even think that it could be an option for a career. And I remember later on in life, I'm like, Mom, I made my prom dress. And I think in my school, I graduated with 62 girls. I lent that dress and it was made to my body. I lent that dress to like 12 girls for their dance. I mean, it was the most unique. I easily could have done a pattern and like sold it, right? So I look back now and I'm like, why didn't anybody, but if things aren't fostered, if we don't have that belief awakened in us for what's possible, then we'll just kind of write it off and we'll lean into the negative. There's a great book and it's by Gay Hendricks and it's called The Big Leap. And if you really want to start thinking bigger, please read it, especially for my entrepreneurs. And he says we have a higher threshold for pain than we do for happiness. And that's a beautiful thing to understand because the human mind will always go towards the negative before it just goes towards the positive. So we actually have to train ourselves to think differently. This is what I do with my clients right now. Like I said, inside Limitless, I'm having them do a miracles challenge. Why would I do that in the month of December? It's not for like shits and giggles. I'm not like, hey guys, let's just look for miracles. We're all like grown women hanging out. No, because I want them to train the reticular activating system to reprogram them to see the many blessings, to amplify the amount of good things in their life. So they start looking at them, especially in a month of giving, especially in a month where we want to give. And I'm talking with them about expanding their vessel to receive. So yes, I want them to play a game of looking for the miracles and amplify it. And yes, I told them I'll give them, whoever wins gets a gift. I don't even know what it's going to be. Help me come up with something really good. But I say this because we train our minds. Do you know that your identity generally in a woman is fixed by the age of 35? So to program ourselves to become different, but here's the kicker. At 40, we actually come into our own like we never have before. And at 50, we literally stop giving, excuse my French, we stop giving a shit about anything. After 40, you generally are like, I'm good. You just stop. I'm 47 now and I love it. I love aging. If you don't follow me on social, I was just in a reel the other day that went viral where I was like, I love aging. I love it. Because we now get to do the second act, right? Midlife being the main stage, knowing what we know now. And it's so beautiful. Our soul came here during a time when we get to experience so many epic shifts where so many things are at our disposal. So train your mind and start going now, who do I want to be? Because you get to become that now. That gets to be your identity. Own it, claim it. So I cannot thank you enough for being here. If you want to join Limitless, we would love to have you. And you get to be in this energy and presence. Our next live call is on Monday, and you receive audios from me basically 5 or more days a week. And you get a lot. I mean, there's so much, and you get a vault of resources. And it's at this point, I think we have 385 video modules, workbooks. Inside Limitless is my Limitless Body program, where you guys know, if you don't know, I'm an ex-fitness competitor, and I specialized in the psychology of women, food, and self-sabotaging behavior. I'm a nutritionist, and the first 10 years of my career was around helping women to truly, when I look at it, shift their identity, to release weight, be done with dieting, heal their relationship with food, themselves and their bodies, to actually lose the weight and not gain it back again and be done with dieting for good. If that is of interest to you, that's going to be, don't get it now. It's going to be going on sale. If you want to know when that is going on sale, I will be doing instead of the new year, get your body. No, if you want my Love Your Body, Lose the Weight, like signature program that I did to literally release the weight, not get it back again, and I look better now than I did. And I'm like the same size as like I could wear things that I wore in high school after doing that program. And I healed my relationship with food, disordered eating, chronic dieting, you name it. I've tried it. That program, we are going to be doing a special on that. If you want weight loss and you want to release weight and get healthy and truly shift your identity around food and your body, that is the program. If you want that, put body, and I will make sure that you get the first notification, because we're doing like a 50% off, so definitely get that, because I only run that one time a year. And I'm going to do it now in the month of December because I want people to be able to start that now. And then Reinvention, we're starting in January. So if you're on the Reinvention train and you're like, I'm ready to dramatically change and up level every area of my life, and I truly want to powerfully pivot in your purpose, and it's a lot of P's, but I mean, you don't need a strategy. You actually have to change your identity to believe in yourself and to know that your success is inevitable. And we have to build her from the beginning. And that starts with your identity. And so Reinvention is identity meets purpose. And if that's you and you're a woman in midlife and you're like, I've had a lot of success and I'm ready, I have a dream on my heart and I want to do it now. And that's where I bring you into everything with practical and tactical, but we have to get the identity first. And then your success truly is inevitable. Many people do it in the reverse, and you end up burning out and just throwing a lot of spaghetti against the wall. And you don't actually fully believe in yourself, nor have the clarity on what you're doing. And we don't want that. I need you out in the world pursuing your dreams and making them happen. So we are all in this together and we can all rise higher. So that's Reinvention. And those of you, we've got a little something for everybody. Those of you that are ready want Limitless, and you want to be limitless and know that you are in fact limitless, and you want to be around other women, and you've got a dream on your heart, and you want to believe in yourself, and you know that your negative thinking and the lack of belief in you and lack of self-worth, and you really want to master this, join Limitless. It's literally a membership. There's 2 different tiers. You can start. It's $88 a month. You get so much. And if you don't like it, you can leave. But you get literally spot hot seat coaching. I mean, there's so much that you get for that price point. I don't know another membership like it where you get everything for that. And so if you are interested in any of those, definitely let me know. And I will link everything here. And I love you all. And I'm off to have an incredible Saturday. It is the boat show. I'm actually going to head to the beach right now. And I love you all, and happy holidays. And make sure to subscribe and like. I go live here with you 2 times every week. And then on YouTube, I post a long form 1 time a week. I go live twice a week. TikTok, we always clue you in. Every time I go live here twice a week. And then on TikTok, I think, what do you get? 5 videos from me each day. So let me know, but we talk about all the things here. And I am so grateful for you, your energy, your presence, your time. Thank you for spending your time with me today. And I can't wait to be with you on our next live. Thank you all. And I will be with you soon. Bye guys.